Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marissa Ray. Thank you for tuning in today. I certainly appreciate it. On today's video, I am going to be showing y'all how I achieve this cute and adorable makeup look, springtime, drugstore, affordable, oily skin. Yes, all that is what I got. And that's what I'm bringing to y'all here today. So if you're not already a subscriber, then please make sure you hit that button below and turn on your notification bell, honey, because you don't ever want to miss an upload. Like, why not? It doesn't make sense, right? And it's free, so why not? So with all that being said, I hope you guys are still staying safe out here, taking care of yourselves and your family. Make sure that, you know, you're protecting yourselves, sanitizing, all that jazz, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm starting off freshly washed face, honey. All of that. Make sure your face is clean and use a toner. I use the Dickinson's toner and the Badescu spray as toners on my face. And to moisturize my face, I used this Nivea Soft refreshingly light moisturizing cream. Is super lightweight and I love it because, like I said, I have oily skin. And I also combined that with a SPF 50, so sunscreen is so necessary. I already did that. So now getting into primer, I use the Wet n Wild matte primer and the Maybelline Baby Skin primer. I love these two. So I'm gonna use the matte primer first, honey. And all of a sudden something went wrong, because once I start blending this in, y'all are going to be able to tell that little fuzzies started popping up on my face. And I was like, what's going on? What's this? What's, like, I don't think it ever usually, see what I'm talking about? I don't think it ever usually does that, but yeah, I don't know what that was about. I may have to get me a new primer, but anywho, I wiped it off and that took care of it, so yeah. And by the way, I do want to mention that when I put on primer, I mainly focus it in the areas that I get a lot of pores, and I usually tend to get oily. So that's my T-zone, my chin, my forehead, under my eye, like right by my nose. That's usually what I put on and where I put it. So I'm going to use this Airspun translucent loose face powder from Walmart and just a little fluffy brush because we're about to get into the brows. So I love to set my eyebrows before I put my product on because, you know, after moisturizing, your face gets a little bit oily. So I'm going to be using this NYX Microbrow pencil in the color Espresso. I do like using this, and it has a little spoolie at the end, so I brush out my brows first. And what I like to do is take the product and swipe it across the lower part of my brow just to create that line first, and then after that I just fill in any sparse areas and fill in the top of my brow, and at the front of my brow I do like little hair strokes so that my brows look a little bit more natural. Now to shape up my brows, I use the LA Girl Pro Concealer from the Beauty Supply. This is also in the color Espresso, and just a flat concealer brush. And I like to just literally outline my eyebrows and make it as defined as possible. And I'm sure y'all have heard this plenty of times that eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So, I mean, of course, we're going to try to make them look as much like twins as possible, but sometimes it don't happen that way, and that's okay. So I use that concealer for underneath my brow and on the top of my brow. And then after that, I'm just going to blend it in with a little fluffy brush, a fluffy eyeshadow brush basically. And I'm going to blend out all of the concealer around my eyebrows. Now I'm going to go in with that same Espresso concealer and pretty much correct any hyperpigmentation, dark marks, so around my mouth, my cheeks, a little bit on my forehead, just wherever I see any dark spots. I want to go in and correct that by using my concealer and look crazy. And then I'm going to use a damp Real Techniques sponge. Again, I said damp, so not dripping wet, not dry, but damp. And I'm going to literally just blend that concealer out. And yeah, that's it for that. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the foundation in the color 360, the mocha, and I'm gonna use a flat foundation brush to literally just paint my face as if you're painting a canvas. I love to do this first because I don't know, I just feel like it makes my foundation blend out so smooth, and I like to focus on the outer parts of my face because that tends to be where my face is a lot darker and hyperpigmented. So I'm going to use that Badescu spray again because I love the finish that it gives my foundation when I spray it on. And I used now the bottom of the Real Technique sponge, the flat part of it, and literally just blend out my whole foundation on all of my face. And blending is key. You never want to stop blending. Well, eventually you do. But blending is key, honey, because you got to have your foundation blended and you don't want no lines of discoloration, all of that. Next, I'm going in with my Espresso concealer again, and I'm about to highlight. So I use this first for underneath my eye, my forehead, my chin, and my nose. And then I'm going to go in with this HD concealer in the color Fawn, I think it is, and I literally put that on top of the Espresso concealer as basically so that I can mix the two together so that the color isn't too bright and it doesn't make me look too ashy. So I put the concealer in these places because these are the places that, like, when the sun hits you, it stands out more. The inner parts of your face is obviously mostly the part of your face that's always a lot lighter. So I put it under my eyes, my chin, my nose, on top of my lip, and then I'm gonna just blend it all together so that it looks super smooth and super seamless. Then I like to let my concealer sit a little bit so that it doesn't move the product too much when I blend it. And I'm gonna use my Morphe continuous setting spray. I really love this stuff. And I'm gonna spray my face before I blend out my concealer. Then using the other part of that Real Technique sponge, I'm gonna just keep blending out my places that I highlighted, and then use the bottom of the sponge to basically blend out the edges. So I'm gonna do that with every single part of the places that I highlighted. And by the way, the reason I use that setting spray right now is because that is the key to making your makeup last for a long time, first of all, and number two, it just sets your face so much better. And I find that I don't get quite as oily throughout the day when I use the setting spray like 2 or 3 times throughout my makeup routine. So like I said, I'm just going to blend all this product in underneath my eyes and everywhere, and then go in with the part of the sponge where I use my foundation and blend out the edges so that the transition from my concealer to the foundation looks super smooth and super seamless. Once my concealer is blended, I'm going in with my Airspun translucent powder again and my damp sponge. I like to set underneath my eyes first because your eyes, well, for me personally, my eyes is the first place that I will crease. So I need to set my face, not bake, just set with a light layer of powder immediately because I don't want to get creases. And, you know, even though that stuff comes naturally, I just don't want it to... I want to be able to prevent it as much as possible. So I literally just set all of my face, all the places that I highlighted, with my translucent powder on all those same places, a very light layer. But sometimes I go in with a little bit more, just depending on if I want my face to look a little brighter or whatever the case may be. Then I'm going to use this True Complexion contour palette from Black Radiance in the color medium to dark. And I'm going to use the contour shade and like a fluffy kind of brush. I don't even know where I got this from, probably Amazon. I think all my brushes I got from Amazon, by the way. And I'm gonna take that and go into the hollows of my cheek and around the edges of my jawline because it's just gonna add that warmth back into my face. I don't like to do like a perfect contour or anything like that, but I do like to add warmth to my cheeks, my chin, and around the perimeters of my forehead. It just makes me look more lively, more warm, you know, especially for summertime and all of that. I like to do that. Then I'm going to take basically like an eyeshadow brush, a fluffy one, and use this as a way to contour my nose. Not really contour, but give me some more color. And I just drag that brush down the bottom of my nose on both sides just to, you know, bring that life back into my face so I look brown and chocolate again, okay? All that. Then I'm going to go in with this NYX Sweet Cheeks blush in the color Bang Bang. I never ever in my life used blush before, and this is like a glowy blush, but I got it from Target, and child, I ended up loving this blush. I've never in my life in any routine ever have I used blush, and there I used a little bit too much, but don't worry, I ended up fixing it. But blush, it turned out super cute, super pink and friendly and all of that, so it's good because it's summertime and it looks so adorable. And again, I'm going to be setting my face because I just put on all my powders, so I definitely have to set my face now. And now we're going to get into the eyes. So I'm going to use that same HD concealer in the color Fawn to prime my eyelids. Using a lighter concealer on top of your eyes is just better because it allows for the pigment of the color eyeshadow that you're going to use to show up more. Then I'm going to use that Airspun powder to set my eyelids, since obviously you have to just set the concealer. So now I'm going to go in with this Dillard's eyeshadow palette. I got this 2 years ago when I used to work at Dillard's, and I'm just using a light brown color. The color doesn't actually show like the name or anything on the palette, but I'm going to use that in the crease of my eyelids and use a blending eyeshadow brush. Again, got it from Amazon. Then I'm going to use that contour color again that I used to contour my face and put that also in the crease of my eyelids, just so that I have a good transition color. So I want it to be a little bit lively. I'm using this 18 Hit Wonders e.l.f. eyeshadow palette, and I'm using that bright orange color. It's the color Heat in the palette, and I got this palette from Target, by the way. And then I'm using a flat eyeshadow brush, so it's very flat, and I'm going to just pat that color all into my eyelid, only on the lid part. I didn't want it all over, but just primarily on the part of my lid. Then I'm using just an unused eyeshadow brush to blend out the edges so that it doesn't look too harsh. And I'm going to go into that palette again and use the color Quartz. It's like a shimmery pinkish color, and place that on top of the orange. I really don't know what I was doing here, y'all, so I kind of ended up mixing a bunch of colors, but it turned out cute in the end. So yes, that's what I did. I used that color Quartz, and then I'm going to go in with the color Pave, which is even a brighter pinky shimmery color, and put that on the inner tear duct of my eyes, you know, right where that waterline is. It just makes your eyes look brighter. Then I'm going to finally use the color Penny. It's like a bronzy copper-ish toned eyeshadow color, and I put that on top of the orange. That ended up being super cute. I just love how this color turns out. And then I'm going to use again that contour color from the Black Radiance palette and swipe that underneath my lash line at the bottom, just to give my face a little bit of depth and open my eyes. Last but not least, I'm using my setting spray again, okay? Now we're going to move into mascara. I'm using the Loreal Voluminous mascara, and I'm going to apply mascara to my eyes before I put on my lashes. And I have the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive, and it has a little applicator brush so that you can basically put the lash glue onto your eyes as if you're going to put on eyeliner. And then the eyelashes that I'm using, oh, you want to make sure this is dry first, like 20 seconds. You want to make sure your eyelash glue dries first. So I'm going to use some tweezers, and the eyelashes that I'm using, I wasn't able to show y'all, but I do have these. They're the Adele, or is it Adele or Ardell? Ardell, whoever, wispy lashes. Every single product I use will be down below in the description box anyway. But if y'all want to update it, like specific eyelash or eyebrow tutorial, let me know down in the comments, and I will definitely be able to make a video on that for y'all. So that's what I'm using. And then I'm going to put that mascara on my bottom lash line too, because I just feel like I can't miss that step. And this next part is super important, so I'm going to put mascara again onto my real lashes underneath the fake lashes, not all the way on all the lashes, but just underneath, and then use my fingers to smush my lashes and the false lashes together. This is what creates your lash to look super natural and look like it's actually your real lashes. So then I'm going to be using this. It's actually a eyeliner, I think, and I just decided to use it on my lips. It's in the color Espresso from Target. Use that as a lip liner because I just like to line my lips first, and then I'm going to use this NYX candy stick first in the color Sugar Coated Kiss, is that color, and it's a little bit bright for me, but that's why I'm going to go in with my other NYX candy stick, which is the color S'more Please. This also I got from Target or Walmart, you know, either one of those you can probably get from both places. And then I'm going to finally go in with the Loreal Metallic Lip Gloss, and this color is in the color Lusted, and I got that also from Walmart. So I use that because it's very shimmery and very pretty and all of that jazz. Alright y'all, so that completes this look. Y'all saw the cuteness, y'all see what's going on. I hope y'all really did enjoy this video. I hope it was helpful for y'all and some of y'all can relate, because like I said earlier, I am an oily skin girl. Definitely an oily skin girl. But the products that I use do kind of help to control my oil. Like right now it's later in the day, but I really haven't blotted much. Like I literally blotted maybe once and I still look fine, and I was in the sun and it's hours later. So that lets you know that this makeup was good, and it's springtime, you know, something cute, something jazzy, whatever, you know, y'all know how they go. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Please stay safe, take care of yourselves, be blessed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Well, I hope you see me in my next video. I wish I could see y'all, I can't, but maybe one day I will. Okay, so that's all I got. Bye.